Good afternoon, good afternoon. Oh my, look at all the figs coming on. We've had a warm day here in Alabama. Very, very warm. It's turned into a beautiful, beautiful evening. Just warm and dry. No rain. I've been outside for 2 weeks and still no rain. I can water everything in the yard with sprinklers and by hand, but the orchids have to have they really could use some rain. My rain barrels are getting a little bit low too. Starting to dip into my reserves, so to say. I got everybody bunched over in this corner trying to keep them out of the sun, and had to make a makeshift shade cloth out of an old sheet. Pulled one off of that motorcycle in my garage. I stuck a couple of bamboo stakes into it on the staghorn. For those who don't know what this big thing is, a staghorn. I've been stretching that sheet over the top of it during the daytime to keep the major sun off of it so it doesn't get burned. It got a couple of little spots of burn on it from being out there real quick. So the parts for my canopy I was talking about, they're supposed to be here sometime today, so they'll show up later on this evening. Then I'll start putting stuff up tomorrow, and that'll be nice because that canopy is going to go from here all the way down to the corner down here and come out actually about as far as where the shade house is. With 60, I think it's 60 or 70%, I think it's 60% shade cloth on top of it. That should work just fine down here. Protect everything. We're just so intense right now. A couple of new lilies and a dianthus that she brought home. Everybody looks really good. They're still, just even from yesterday's water, this pot is still saturated. Still hasn't dried out. This one, so you can see the water line on it down on the bottom. It still hasn't dried out yet. And this one's just completely saturated still. That one's pretty much saturated still. So they'll pull off that. We were 90. We're what are we? We're 88 degrees, 50% humidity. It's cooling down now. We were 97 today, down to 32% humidity. So it got plenty warm. That's a good test of the moistures on it. There's this is that little fowl. This is that one that, sorry for all the quick movements tonight, that was hanging next to this one. Now there's our tree frog talking to us. Every time I come over here, I start talking, he starts talking. He likes complete silence, I guess, or something. Anyway, I think I showed that already. I don't know. I may have to go back and check, but I took it out of that basket and I put it in that little net pot, plastic net pot with a couple of pieces of rock to keep it from falling over. Oh, good Lord. And it's actually hydrating real well. I put some moss in it. Even though moss was what caused the problem to begin with, at least it's helping it stay hydrated this time. It's fresh moss. It does have a few roots, just not a lot of roots, so I'm trying to encourage some root growth and keep it hydrated. So this seems to be helping quite a bit. So I'm just gonna, oh my. I'm just gonna let it go and do its thing and see what happens. That might be a problem here in just a second. I got the camera. One of us is going to talk. One of us isn't. That is crazy. Where is he? He's got to be behind that. There he is. You see him sitting right there on the back of that piece of wood. Hey. Earlier I came in and I was picking up the mounts and plopping them over here and dropping them in here, and I dropped him in here and he took off swimming. So he got a bath earlier, and I actually caught him and put him in the rain barrel to wash him off, and then I put him back up there, so apparently it didn't bother him too much. My, let me show you. I love having nature all around me, I really do. I think that's a good sign of your environment, I really do. Especially amphibians. They're key to the environment. Let me show you what's going on. I was watching a video the other night. It was, the channel is Orchids and Kitties. Very sweet lady. She has wonderful, wonderful plants. She's a wonderful grower. I'll put a link to her channel down below, but she had ordered some epiphyllums off eBay, and I was watching this video, and my wife was watching me watch this video, I guess, and she went on eBay and surprised me. I don't know if it's from the same person or not, but she found somebody's, and a few days later, I got a surprise package of epiphyllum cuttings. Anyway, it comes with this letter with a little bit of information about how to grow them, what to look out for, and some of the pictures of the blooms. The gentleman's name was Jim. Really nice. I'll put a link to the eBay store down below. I think you were supposed to get like 6 cuttings, and he sent me 8, which I thought was very nice. Agatha, Padre, Orange and Yellow, King Midas, XL White, Purple, Tequila Sunrise, and Yellow. Those are the ones that I received. I needed more plants, didn't I? But these are very unique, very unique. I have a Thanksgiving cactus, but I don't think that's exactly the same thing. We've got mosquitoes blowing around here, sorry about that. They were a little bit on the warm side when they showed up, coming through the mail, not to be surprised. But I thought it was very interesting. They're all labeled. But they're all, I put just a couple of damp paper towels on top of them with some rainwater on them, and they're nice and plump, very, very firm and crisp now. They were a little warm when I got them, but they're cool now. Feel really, really good to the touch. Really, really interesting plants. I've never grown these, have no idea. So if you have experience with them, please let me know. There are some channels out there I can watch, but if you have links to some, if it's your own channel, please let me see it. I would love to know that link. I know there's some people that have some. Raphael at Taming the Orchid, I know I just watched one of his shows the other day. Fernanda, Fifi, I'm sure I'm leaving out a bunch of people, and I apologize, but please, if there's some links there you can give me, that'd be great. If you have some quick tips that you can give me what to do with these guys. They are calloused over, but I'm going to leave them for a few days just to make sure, because I don't know when they were cut. They all seem to be plump and firmed up and look okay. Where do I go from here? What type of soil? You know, just put them in a little... I've seen all types of ways. I've seen them grown in water, started, rooted in water. I'd prefer not to do that. I'd rather plant them. Unless that's the preferred way to do it. Just really pretty. Just love those things. Anyway, I'm really anxious to get these started and see what I can do with these. I like these type of plants because it's kind of like an orchid. They're not affected by most pests and bugs and stuff. And this is not probably a great time to bring it up or anything, but I haven't sprayed any of my plants since last June. So I'm closing on a year. I sprayed them with that Bayer, the imidacloprid systemic last June, but I'm sure it wore off by end of summer right when I was bringing them inside. But they were in an isolated room all winter, but because of their condition, their calcium, stuff like that, they should be tough enough and resist pretty much everything. They do in the wild, so I don't want to handle insecticides if I don't have to. So I think if I keep my orchids as healthy as they're supposed to be, and they get all the nutrition they're supposed to be, they should be able to keep most things at bay. Not frogs, obviously, but and grasshoppers and some big chewing types of things. I mean, they may have to get bit on or something for something to stop chewing on them. But most things like mites, aphids, mealybugs, things like that, scale, I shouldn't have any issues with that. And I don't have any of that in my garden at the moment. None of it, zero. So, and I went through. I mentioned that before, that my plants didn't get affected when I lost other plants during the winter time with mites and mealybugs and stuff. These guys weren't affected so much. So, anyway. I'll start segueing very, very easy. You know me. Anyway, how about that? Thank you to my lovely wife, and I guess thank you to Orchid and Kitty too for She doesn't realize it probably, but she probably instigated this. But wonderful channel. Go check her out too. And links on the, like I said, links on growing and tips would be wonderful. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. I've already had and soaked everybody. Everybody's watered. Everybody looks real good. I'm just out here enjoying the evening and looking at a few. They're all doing so well. Growths are coming out. Everybody's growing. Some bloom spikes coming. Even the air plants are getting into it. They're stretching roots around and grabbing the actual wood mount now and holding on to it. And I noticed they're putting roots out themselves. That's tremendous. I'd love to see that. I wasn't expecting that, but that's great to see. Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble again.